everybody, I'm Vasel, and I like escape room style games. And one of the series that I really enjoy is the Unlock series. At this point in time, there is 8 of these big boxes that come with 3 different series. They originally sold them by themselves in small boxes, and you can still get those some places, but now they have them grouped in these boxes of 3. And so between those and the Star Wars one, there are 27 different scenarios. And someone was asking me about this the other day, and I thought I would just quickly rank the scenarios in my personal favorites from the lowest to the highest. And of course, this could change at any point. It was really easy for me to get the top ones and the bottom ones, and then the ones in the middle kind of fell where they did. But let's get started. So first of all, number 27 is from Exotic Adventures, and that one is right here, and that is Night of the Boogeyman. I really didn't like this one at all. And again, I'm going to try to be as spoiler-free as I can in these videos, but I can kind of give you the main reason I don't like them. The Night of the Boogeyman put restrictions on the players when they're playing, and I didn't like that. It added some silliness and zaniness, which I don't mind silliness per se, but it just didn't work in this situation, and that one in particular just fell apart for me. Number 26 is the Nautilus Traps, and that one is right here, which looks really cool, like, oh, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But this one had an element where they played with time, like you're running out of air constantly in this, and you need to find air tanks to get more time. That just didn't work for me at all. It just wasn't a great scenario. Number 25 is the Island of Dr. Gorsay. Now, this is one of the first ones that came out in Escape Adventures, and this one I didn't like for one main reason: it splits the party very early on into the game. And for me, the fun about these escape room games is we're getting together and solving something together, and this splits people. And if you're playing with only 2 people, it splits you into one-on-one, which you're not working together at all at that point. Then number 24 is Around the World in 80 Minutes. Now, this one I know that I might be a little bit less, there are some people who will like this one more than me. It's based on Around the World in 80 Days, very much so, but it was really hard, partly, and there was some clues where I was like, how was I supposed to know that? I just felt there was a lot of parts of it that I just was like, I don't know how I was supposed to guess that sort of thing, and this one just fell flat for me a little bit. Number 23 is Tombstone Express. So Tombstone Express, which is around here somewhere, there's one element of this one which I found to be amusing, and I didn't dislike this per se. Like, this is the first one where I'm not sure that I disliked it. I think it's fine. That's how I feel about most of these. But the Western, while it's a neat motif and who done it type aspect, it was just okay. Number 22 is Secret Mission on Jeddah from Star Wars. So it's the most complicated of the Star Wars ones. This one gets a lot of grief for being too easy. That doesn't bother me. I don't mind when they're easy, as long as it's a fun experience. But you are rescuing cyber crystals from the ancient moon Jeddah. There was just one section of it, and I can't really go into it without spoiling it, that I just didn't find to be tremendously fun. I was like, how does all this work together? And when it came down to it, I was like, okay, I guess. It was trying to be fairly dynamic, which a lot of these games can be. It just didn't work as well for me. Number 21 is, I don't know how to pronounce this, Scheherazades Last Tale. And I apologize, I'm not even close to getting it correctly. That's from Exotic. That's Tales of Arabian Nights. This one, there were some problems I had with the game. You were actually able to advance in parts of the game because of it felt like there was holes in the program. I don't know how to explain it. The story was cool. There was a lot of neat ideas in this one, but it just didn't mesh well enough for me to put it higher on the list. Then we have the Dragon's 7 Tests. That's from Epic Adventures. This one's the 7th one in the series, so everything in it has a 7. The Dragon 7 Test has a audio clue type system, and there's a really neat concepts in it, and I enjoyed it for the most part. It's just that when you go through it, they did a different kind of puzzle in this one that was cool the first 3 times, and after that they start doing it a little too much. Then we have an unforeseen delay. That's the original one here from Star Wars. The unforeseen delay is fine. It's just really easy. That's all. Oh, but there's some cool aspects to it, and it's very thematic. And when I played, I was like, hey, we're in Star Wars. But it was just quite easy. Then there's a No Side Stories. This is from Secret Adventures. Is that the one here? Yep, this is the second one. So No Side is an evil clown who's coming after you. There are 3 different adventures with him. This is the lowest ranked of those adventures, but it's not that much low ranked. If you're first getting into the series, these are usually the ones that I would point you to. Then we have the Formula, which is from Escape Adventures. The Formula is one of the original ones in here. You enter a secret lab, get a mysterious serum. Again, this is another one where, hey, have you ever played before? This is one that you might start with. This is basically do this, go here, do this, open this room. Very solid, straightforward one that you can go through. Then we have Squeak and Sausage, which is also in here. This is the first one, and this is if you say what's the very first one I should play, I would say play this one or the other No Side Story or this. All 3 of those are very basic and easy to get into, or the Star Wars one. Again, this is why they're all in the middle of the list. So, I mean, you can mix them up in any order. I like them, but they're very basic and straightforward. Then the next one we have is The House on the Hill. That's this one. Ooh, this is the spooky one where you're going through a haunted house. I mean, it's not that spooky. And again, another straightforward one. There was one clue I didn't like in it, but the rest of it I thought was a lot of fun. Next, we have Sherlock Holmes. Now, for some people, I think this one might be their favorite. This one is the least like an unlock adventure. It really is. It's more of a deduction. You're whodunit. You're figuring that out and you're moving around. It uses the unlock system to do something different. I thought, that's interesting. I didn't love it, but I get why people would enjoy that one. And it's fun. It just realized that it's the most different of all of them, I think. The 7th screening. Well, I know where that one is. It's in number 7 here. Epic Adventures. This one's a black and white movie. There's a few problems I have with this one, but there's also some hilarious moments. It is more, it almost breaks the fourth wall in a couple ways. Well, it kind of does, because you are out of the movie, you're sitting there watching a movie, and then you're in the movie. It has a weird ending, but it's just very memorable, which is why it's not as low as other ones on the list. Alrighty, moving up now, number 12, Expedition Challenger. That is from the Exotic Adventures. Where are the Exotic Adventures? Ah, here it is. That one here. This one, you can see a big T-Rex on the front cover. This one tried to turn it almost into a point-and-click game. And the Expedition Challenger, in that one, I realized when I'm playing through them, I played through them in the order they're released. And as I played this one, I said, they're trying to do something different. Now, there was, again, a puzzle in this one I thought was like, come on. But other than that one puzzle, I was like, wow, I almost feel like I'm playing a video game here with cards with other people, which was entertaining. So, number 11 is the No Side Show. So this is the third of the 4. There's actually 4 of the ones with this clown. This one is a circus one. And I just like the circus. I think it's a lot of fun. And this one, you're doing different things. There's a little bit of puzzling nature that I found worked really well with the app. There was some go here to go back here type situations in this one. I just found it to be a lot of fun. Number 10 is In the Clutches of Hades. This is from Mythic Adventures. This is one that I think that I like this more than a lot of other people. I like the whole Greek mythology here. The idea here, you're Alex, a slave in Greece, but you're trying to gain your freedom and going around with the different gods. This one just was a nice flowing story, and you're going to find as we go higher in these, story is where I enjoy these more often than not, but I found that one to be fun. All right, number 9 is the last No Side one, and that's Professor No Side's Adventure, or Professor No Side's, it's in the same one, Animal-O-Matic. Sorry. And in this one, Professor, you are shooting animals with a gun, and then you become that animal. And that animal gives you a special ability, whether it's flying or sniffing or whatever. It uses the app. It uses VR to some degree. Not always amazingly well, but I liked this concept. It was fun. I don't need to see it ever again. But in this particular adventure, I thought it worked really well. All right, then we have number 8, insert coin. So this is a video game. And if you like video games at all, this is straightforward. You go from one level to the next level. It jumps through video game after video game. It has a really clever puzzle at one point in it. I thought this was a fantastic version. It's not as hard as the others. I'm not really ranking these as how easy or difficult they are, but I didn't think this one was particularly difficult, but boy, was it fun. Number 7 is Escape from Hoth. This is the highest of the Star Wars ones. I really like the Star Wars because I thought the theme came through, but the Escape from Hoth, you might sit there when you play and you're like, oh, I've seen Empire Strikes Back. I'm going to follow that. Well, that works a little bit, but then this deviates from that a lot. But I like the Hoth planet and everything, and I thought that was a really cool one. Then number 6 is Arsène Lupin and the Giant White Diamond. So this one here, which is essentially you are a bunch of kids helping this detective in Paris. This uses the app. There's one aspect in the app that uses it, and I was like, wow, that was really clever. And that's why the unlock where the app worked great. But this one was just fun. You're running all over Paris. It has a little bit more freedom than the other ones. I just thought it was a really good story as you're a bunch of urchins trying to solve this puzzle, helping this great detective. Then we have the Tonopal's Treasure, number 5. Okay, so the top 5 are ones that I just loved. I loved every aspect of them. The Tonopal's Treasure was one of the early ones. It is a pirate-themed one. Where is the Tonopal's Treasure? I know it's around here somewhere. Well, you know what? I'm just blind. But anyway, it's pirate-themed. And pirates are great. This one has one of my favorite ending puzzles to any of them. It felt more like an adventure. It was the first time where I played through it and I was like, oh, this isn't just you're in a room. This one actually has you go from location to location. Now, several of them have done that since then. This was the first one to do so, but I just thought it was really entertaining. The whole package came together. It was a lot of fun. Number 4 is In Pursuit of the White Rabbit, and that's Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland, just another cool one. You're following the story. You're like, I know Alice in Wonderland. It should help me with this, sort of. But it had some really good puzzles in it. It has a good storyline. If you like Alice in Wonderland, it's going to come through out of this game. I just found this one to be very fun. In fact, this whole Heroic Adventures, you'll notice I liked a lot of them. Number 3 is The Adventures of Oz. Again, you can see the story ones are really good for me. The Adventures in Oz, you have 4 different people. This one works really well for 4 players, where each person is one of the characters from Oz, and there are things that you are trying to do, and you're trying to accomplish your own mission on the side. I just love this one. Again, it brought the theme to life. You were like, I understand the story of Oz, but this had a little bit more to it than that. Great unlock. Number 2 is Lost in the Chrono Warp. So this is from Timeless Adventures, which is around here somewhere. You would think the more I play, the more I pick these up, the more I would know which box was where, but it's actually getting worse. Oh, it's right in front of me. Here it is. In this one, Lost in the Time Warp, you go from time period to time period, and things change. You're kind of in the same thing. You're trying to solve a mystery that happened in the past. It's great. I love time warps and time loops, and you're like, oh, this doesn't make sense. I don't care. I found this one to be good puzzle-wise and story-wise. But it's number 2. My favorite of all these is Mission 007, which again is in the Group 7 setup. And in this one in particular, here it is, you are secret agents. This one actually has 2 halves to it. It's 2 parts. Neither one of them's particularly long. We just played the whole thing straight up. But in this, you're some agents. There's high stakes on the line. It feels like you're going through a story. There's good puzzles in it. Something that happened in the past might work in the future. It was just good all around. So that's my favorite of all the different unlock adventures that are out there. Like I said, there's 27. There might be more that show up in the future. I think this is a great series. There's only 4 that I actively dislike out of this series. That's pretty good out of 27. And even in those 4, I had good moments. And in the ones in the middle, for this series definitely skews higher than not. If you had to ask me which one of these boxes is my favorite, Well, I would have to add them together, but I'm pretty sure it's the Timeless Adventures one that I showed you already, where you have Lost in a Time Warp, Arsène Lupin, and the No Side Show. I think if I was just getting one, that would be the one I would get. I'm sure people feel differently. If you played several of these unlocks, let me know your favorite in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching me rank all the unlock games on the Dice Tower.